this week on the podcast, I am honoured to have Kyle Falconer of The View on my podcast. I've been trying to get Kyle for near on 4 years and finally got me to come on and speak about his up and coming album, the one I love the most, which is a collection of reworked songs throughout his career, both with The View and solo, in which all the songs are related to girls that he sang about. So we spoke about that, but obviously we had a deep dive into Kyle's career, growing up, forming The View, the kind of whirlwind time that was, and right up until modern day, where he's doing his songwriting camps out in Spain. So we spoke about that. Also had a wee chat about playing on the pitch at Celtic Park and sharing a dressing room with Henrik Larsson and such like. So we spoke about that as well. And then at the end, Kyle picked his heroes. It was an absolute dream to interview him. But I go and listen to the album. It is out on February the 7th. It's called The One I Love the Most. I hope you all enjoy the podcast. Please keep liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, whatever you do. Just keep doing it. Thanks for listening, troops. Cheers. On the podcast today, I have an absolute legend, Kyle Falconer. I've been trying to get this guy on my podcast for 4 years, and I finally got him. A new album coming out, a collection of reworked songs coming out on February the 7th. We're going to talk about that, but what I like to do is get right back to the start first, Kyle. So what was life like for a young Kyle Falconer growing up in Dundee?
It's good, man. It's the same as anybody else. We're just like, I was in a scheme. We've pretty much played football every day. Been in gangs, chasing each other about. Hung about snooker halls. And then kind of got. I mean, I've always been into music, but I got into music. But kind of in first year, the Eminem was my first big love.
Mm-hmm.
Used to try and write rap songs and that, and then I went down the route of Oasis and the Beatles and that. And once I'd heard them, I became a bit. I might have got like done in from one of the rival gangs in Dundee, with golf clubs a lot. And I remember it. It gave us a bit of an eye opener, and I was like, I need to stop this shit. So, I would then just stay in my room and became a bit of a hermit and just started playing my guitar. I slept on my guitar, fucking. Just like pad my fingers, just like just training them up all the time. It was like my obsession. So that was cool, man. Yeah, but I think that getting beat up kind of saved me and got me really into music. I used to always get beat up, but this was the serious one where my mum was like raging. She was like, I was like disfigured. I was like mental. I stayed at my mate's for a few days till the bruising went down, and she was like, "What are you doing? You need to come home." And I was like, "Oh, got something to show you." My face was fucking like an elephant, man. It was fucking mental. But yeah, it's good, man. And I think like being in it, once we got on a band, it was we entered the talent show. We were called the Lost Weekend, named after the John Lennon's mad couple of weeks, and then we were Kyle and the Casuals. And we were just doing covers and that, and we never even tried to like even do. We weren't even looking at doing our own songs. It was just, but even though me and Kieran actually wrote stuff, but we would never do it with a band. It was someone so far away. It was like, no, that's not possible. And then I've got all these wee birds coming up to us trying to steal my beer. Mental, it. But what was I saying? No, but yeah, like I think once we what then it was like once we tried to play the songs with the band, it was just happened straight away. I think it was. I remember. I think Coming Down was the first one I took to the view. I think it was. I can't really remember. But I remember that was the sort of druggy days and just when we started getting heavy into drugs and it was
Mm-hmm.
actually coming down and I remember thinking, oh cool, and like you being hungover and coming in and writing this tune and going and I remember Pete playing the riff like down 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 da, 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 da. And then I was like, nah, it's got to be more like fucked up. He was like, what if I put this in down down down, like put the semitone down and I was like, there we go, that feels more demented. And I remember thinking and I remember we'd only ever played covers. And then I got my brother-in-law and my cousin. We were in a pub, the Bayview,
Uh-huh.
which my cousin owned. That's where we got our name. Because we were struggling for names, and Webby Kieran just went like one day. Just went, "What about the View?" And it was like, "Yes, that's brilliant." So yeah, he wrote that shit, and it was like, but it seemed so obvious, but like so far away. But I remember that we were a wee gang. It was great. We were like, it was just smoking a lot of weed and just like playing all the time, and always coming up with new ideas and trying to create videos and we were all spray painting and stuff as well. It was pretty mad times. But then I think once we got my brother-in-law that doing to listen to the songs, and I remember them being like, "Holy shit!" I think we had Claudia, Kieran had Streetlights, and Superstar Tradesman we had that as well. So I think we had 4 songs,
Mm-hmm.
and we used to play them, and it was and my brother-in-law and that. I remember him just going, "Wow, these are like brilliant." So we said to my cousin, "Could we play?" Could we get a gig up the stairs in Bayview? So we played and we went, oh, we're going to try our new songs. And I remember we had probably about 80 people there to 100 people there. And this is, we're going to do some of our original songs. And people went mental for them. And we were like, fuck, we're good, man. Because we were
Brilliant.
always like, but even the cover band, we weren't like great. We just done it for a job. Like I used to play every weekend on my own with acoustic. And my cousin would pay us like a lot of cash at the time, and I was like, I was just loads of old like middle aged women and about like just like Take That fans. I just put out to Take That tunes, and they'd all go crazy, swinging their knickers at us and that. But yeah, so when we started playing, we just it just all kicked off, and we were banging to like the Clash, the Libertines at that time, and it was kind of cool to be just crazy and. You got away with murder, just like at times it was okay to be like to sound shit on stage.
Mm.
And it's funny because the way we sound now, if we were sounding like that back in the day, we would have fucking cleaned up. But we were um we were so obsessed with just like the gig. The gig was the last thing on your mind. It was like the partying and that was like more of was the enjoyment. When
Yeah.
you had to play it, it was like, and then we never even thought about what we sounded like. But we were in some states on the stage. Well, I was a lot of the time on the stage, and now it's more like we go to why did I do that? And I was like second. I remember being on second last at Glastonbury on the main stage. And I've been away with the fairies, like full on, like can't even remember being. I just watch it and I go, "What was I on there, man?" Like every drug under the sun, like and just like talking utter shite, singing, going like they're singing these octaves up and that. And I'm like, "What am I? Why am I doing that? Like it's an easy song for me to do. Why am I ruining my career here?" But
I
at the
came
time, you're
to
just thinking, "Ah!" It's like you just think it's what you just go with the flow. But I think if we were able to get a second chance, I would fix a couple of things. But I always say that if I'd done whatever I'd done, if I never got banned for America and all that shit in Japan's, I wouldn't have met my wife and I wouldn't have had
yeah,
my
you
kids. You know
wouldn't
what I
be in the position you're in. That's it.
mean?
We came to see you in Edinburgh. I think I'm trying to think. I was at a gig the night before. I think I was at Baby Shambles the night before, and I came to see you at the Liquid Rooms. And my missus was there. My missus was driving because she was pregnant, and we were driving around Edinburgh looking for a parking space. And she said, "That is that not the wee guy for the View?" And I was like, "No." And she says it looks like him, and you were getting carried off another 2 folk. And I was like, "No, it's no Kyle." And sure as fuck, we went into the gig, and you appeared on stage with the same hoodie as this guy, and it was you. But you managed the full gig.
Yeah,
You were
fuck man,
fine.
mate,
But
that's what I'm
anyway,
saying. I remember, like, actually, I don't know sure if it was the same time, but I had a hoodie on. I remember I bought a samurai sword. They wouldn't have sell it. There was a wee shop that sells like Ouija boards, and I bought a Ouija board and a samurai sword. And but they wouldn't get us it, so I had to get somebody that was going past. It was like I was trying to like buy fags at the shop, trying to get somebody going. It's like, mate, do you mind if you can go in and get us a samurai sword? Because I was too pissed to wear it. So they gave us it, and I was going about swinging it about, thinking it was Billy Big Baz. And like, and I never knew my mum was coming to the gig that night, and I was like, hey, you fucking idiots, and I just had a laugh. Like, I was only about 19, 20. And then my mum came up and she's never hit me in my life, and she went, slapped us in the face, and she went, don't you dare embarrass me, look at the stick, put that sword down. I was like, I'm sorry, mum. I started greeting in front of everyone. I'm like, I'm really sorry. I was like, I'm sorry. She was like, look at the stick, you can't be drinking like that. And I think like that was the only kind of authority I had back then. Like my mum, it was the only person I really respected. My dad did when I was about 16.
Mm-hmm.
So my mum was the only person I still wanted to sort of impress. My sisters were kind of getting on it just as much as me, but even though they were older. But when she done that, I was like, shit, man, I'm in real trouble. I was like, I had to kind of man up a bit. And when she died, and I was 21, so I was kind of, or I was 21, 22, but then I was like, fuck it, I've got nobody to answer to anymore. And I was in London on my own, so I just went fucking absolutely off my tits.
Yeah.
And it's weird because now I'm like, I write so much songs and I'm like, it's versatile. I mean, I've been working a lot with like rappers and sort of urban stuff. I've been working on computer games. I've been working with country artists. I've been like everything, like full on. And it's like, if I was able to, I've never really considered myself a songwriter as a job. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of just been like something that I've done that I've kind of made a living off it. But then I remember my manager gave away all bank cards with the view and went, that she's officially a musician, so that's your job. And I felt weird saying it. I was like, can I say I'm a musician when they ask us? So now I'm a songwriter. It still feels like weird, but because it's a hobby, it's something I like doing. But if I think like back in the day, like what was I doing? I could have been writing tunes. I mean, I used to just basically go on a tour, write an album, and then just not write again. I would just write the album sort of in
Yeah.
a couple of a month or whatever. So it never. I think if I was to really think about it, I mean, I'm not. I like the songs I've written, but if I really put my head into it, that I could have done so much more. But it's good. It's just that everyone says they wasted their 20s, but obviously I've done a lot of shit. But I mean, I just think like as productive wise, I could have been doing so much more. But I think that's how I'm so hungry for it now
Yeah.
because
You
I've
can
got.
see looking at you now that you're reinvigorated. Obviously, out in Spain with your La Sierra Casa and all that going on, which gives you something else to focus on and help other people. So
Yeah,
um, it's amazing to see how you've matured, and it's nearly 20 years for hats off to the buskers commit. So when you look back, I mean, 20 years is a long time.
yeah, man.
Obviously, when that album came out, as you say, it was quite a whirlwind, and all your videos and stuff like that. You had all your pals in about you. Uh,
Yeah,
obviously, Ryan McPhail was doing the artwork. Um, the second album, Witch Bitch, with the DVD, Driver of Style DVD, and you had all your pals. You had
Fucking hell.
Gypsy and Marco
Yes.
was in the videos, and
Yeah.
Jimmy Harris and all that. So at that time, when you kind of took your pals along for the ride, was that something James Endicott kind of wanted? Because he seemed to like the full Dundee scene at the
Well,
time.
yeah, well, what happened was I think when that was part of the reason we got signed from James because we'd never even played outside of Dundee before. We got a phone call from James Endicott to come down to London to play, and we thought and they used to we had this big squad that would come at every gig in Dundee. We used to call it a World Tour of Dundee,
Mm-hmm.
but we took them down and everyone came. We even got on that bus as well, and there was like I think there's maybe about 40, 50 folk came, and we used to bring it down. Once James was like, "Fuck, this is what I needed. I've been looking for this new kind of band." Says this, he totally buzzed, and he was like, he signed with like the next week, and we had like offers from Virgin, EMI, Sony, all this shit. And no, but we did sign to Sony. It's a weird one, right? Because we signed to 1965, and we thought, oh, this is cool, we're on an indie label and all that shit. But then it was actually, we were going into these big posh offices like Columbia Records and Sony and that. And I was like, wait, why do we keep coming in here? Like, because you're signed to Sony. And I was like, oh, right, all right. So that's how clueless we were. We were signed to Universal Publishing. Like, I remember going into the office and like hitting golf balls, like something you would see in a film, big line of sneef, fucking hitting golf balls, drinking whiskey, and like going, do you want to sign in my company? And we're like, fucking right, I'll sign on the dotted line. He's £1 million. No, I mean, and then we were like, we'd never seen cash like that before. I remember like one of the first things I done when I got my publishing deals, I went and thought I was doing my mum a favour. I went and got her like, I'm going to, because I can only get 400 quid at the bank a day. And I remember I went in and got like the most expensive TV, which was 400 quid, but it was like a big pure heifer. I was like, it was a big thick thing. And it was like, I brought it in, I come out with my mum, she was like, I like the TV I've got. And then I was like, I've got you a present, mum. She was like, well, you could have got us any of them new flat screens. And I was like, I've hardly bought it. And it was like, and my mates to carry it in, thinking I was like a pure hero, but she was like, oh, I like my old TV. It came out after a couple of times and she'd unplugged it and like put it on. And I was like, geez, oh. But yeah, that was part of the reason that we got signed, because we're close pals. I mean, I was on the phone to Jimmy the other like couple of days ago for like 3 hours. We're all dead close, and Clarky, like we're
Yeah.
all they were part of the reason that we became that. And even to this day, like my pal Clarky, I send him songs, and he's like, even though he's not like a muso or that, but he knows his music. So like, and sometimes if they're getting a wee bit poppier, I'll be like, oh, I need to test the water. So I'll send him a him, and if I
Yeah.
get like and he comes back and goes, this is brilliant. So I'm like, all right, okay, it's no, I've no went doing, because I kind of get scared of that sometimes, because even that No Love Songs album, which has turned out amazing, because we're touring like America and Australia like for a year solid, it's kicking off, but at the time, those songs were when I was in LA. I was writing for other people, and nobody really. They were the songs that I'd written and felt passionate about that nobody really took. So I was sitting with this bunch of songs, and I was like, I need to do some of these. And when I was singing them at the time, the demos, and I was singing like I was putting Michael Jackson voice on and like singing like a NSYNC and shit. I was like proper going for pop, because I was trying to sell them to other
Hmm.
people. And then when I put my own sort of indie spin on it, I was like, oh, this could be my album. And I was like, and originally there was like another 7 songs that never made the album, that were like fully produced and everything. So when that came out, it was like I was a bit scared of showing people that, because I'm meant to be this fucking mad indie kid, you know what I mean? That coming up with this
Yeah.
pop record. But I think just living in music and living with the versatility of all the people I know, and
Well,
you
that's is it.
get, times have changed. You know what I mean? You could do a pop record. You could come out with a fucking operatic record. You could do whatever you want.
I
Because it's
think
like,
somebody like yourself, with the standing you've got and the following you've got in the view, you could do whatever you want, really, and you get a ready-made fan base that are going to tap into it anyway.
yeah.
Obviously, talking about so when hats off to the buskers came out, I went to see you at the Barland again. My missus was pregnant at this point as well. It's the first gig I'd ever took it. Like, she moved up for London, moved up here to stay with me, and she got pregnant, and I took her to a view gig, and I get chucked out halfway through, and I was wearing a Pete Doherty t-shirt, and I was walking, I had 2 pints, and this guy says to me, oh, I like your t-shirt, mate, and I started talking to him, and I gave him one of the pints, and he says, this song they're playing is about me, and it was Jimmy Harris.
Oh,
So
definitely, Jimmy, if he's taking a pint off you.
aye, so we were talking away. So I gave him a pint, and then I put my pipe down, I lit up a fag, and the security guy came and got me and dragged me, chucked me down the back stairs of the Barrowlands, and I get fucked out. My pregnant missus is left inside. So that was the first view gig I went to, and
That's what happens at view gigs, man. Everyone's getting
I've
chucked
probably
in
been
it.
chucked out at least 10, 15 view gigs, easy. um, so I um hundreds of albums, like most of the songs on this new record are represented on at least like they're a representative for each album, other than Cheeky for a Reason. I think there's no song for that. But how did um how did you go about picking these songs? Obviously, easy enough to say, right? They're females. They're all about females. But like, for instance, I thought Women of the Year might have made the cut. Obviously, that
So
never
so
made
I had
the cut.
so I, so I had like Tacky Tattoo, I had Mother, Women of the Year, I had all them lined up to go. And once I started doing it, I was like, actually, I should just make it girls' names. So I had witches and that, and I was going to do them all.
Mm-hmm.
But it was made a bit, because I kept thinking about it, going like, it's quite abnormal how many girls' names I've got in tracks. Um, and I was sitting on the studio, and like, people kept coming through, and when there was downtime, I was like, I could be using the studio. It's a bit of a weird one, because living in a like weird way to move. Like, I'm on like where the kids go to school. We're moving right here just now,
Right.
but it's like a golf course, so it's like, and the studio's along the road. But like, I want to like. In my head, I always wanted to live in a studio, like always have a recording studio, no, like not just like my laptop and a couple of KRKs, but like proper studio, and then living there for 6 months, I can't wait to get out, because I always feel like you're kind of obliged to keep being creative, and some days I don't want to be creative, even though I normally am. There's always something going on. I've always got my phone. I'm always like fucking writing something. Even last night I was like proper buzzing, because I'd been listening to there's this song called the Waitress, because she used to be mine. And it's this musical. My sister sent me it and she says, "You'll love this, and but watch it and try not to cry." And I started watching it and became obsessed. So I went down the rabbit hole, and I've got it through the big speakers in the studio, and I'm listening to a million versions of it. And it's like I've got this version of Rufus Wainwright singing it with his wifey. And honestly, I've just sitting in tears listening to it, and it inspired. Then I was like, "Shit!" It's inspired me to write loads of stuff. And it was like, because it's 4 chords, and it's the sort of chords that you try not to. You try to be, if you're going to be creative, you try not to use them. But I was like, they've done it so well, because they just put a wee seventh now and again, and it sort of separates the music from the feeling and the tone of the whole thing. And I was just like, I just got obsessed with it. So, but then I went to my bed and I went, right, I'm shutting off of that, 'cause I need to get to sleep. I've got to take the kids to school in the morning. And I was like, just writing non-stop. And I was like, right, okay, if I didn't put this idea down, I'm going to be a dick, so I need to write. And I'm going, and then I'm like, shit, right? And then I'm going, oh, wait a minute, I've got a wee riff that can go in that as well. And I'm like, next minute, it's like 5 in the morning, and I'm just like writing these lyrics, and I'm on my phone sitting with my uke in my wee dark room, like trying not to wake up anybody up. It's like, then I'm going, should I go back in the studio? And I'm going, no, you're not going to the studio, you've got to go to sleep. I'm starting to argue with myself. It's mental, like, but like, it's good. I think living with it and just being so involved in the music's kind of doing my head in a bit. I want space away from it, so it is
Right.
good. I'm not complaining. I'm saying it's class, but it's just like everyone that comes over, it's like I've got people here all the time. Different writers, different people. Even if it's not the camps, they're coming over to do writing as well. And it's like sometimes I'm a bit like overloaded with stimulation, but I'm like, then I'm still going for my runs, and even when I'm on a run now, I'm just still writing tunes. I'm like, stop. Just kind of, it's like it becomes a wee bit of an addiction. And it's like, because if you don't document that idea, you're gonna waste this big grand moment. You know what I mean? Like
That feels like
somebody could be a hit.
it feels like me last night when I was going to bed, and I knew I had this interview coming up tomorrow. I had everything going around my head as well. But it's maybe not as creative as yourself.
Do you know
So
what?
I
It's cool seeing people's seeing it. I mean, Carol Barat was at the last camp we done, or the second last camp, and I've known Carol for 20 years. He's been a pal of mine for years.
same
But
birthday as him as well, haven't you?
yeah, I've got to say that. We always text each other. That's how we kind of started palling about in London. And that he was like, "Oh, it's both my birthday. We're both sitting alone. Let's go and get smashed." And then so he was like, getting him to the camp. I'd always been a massive fan of Libertines, a massive fan of him. He's a great guy, but I never really thought about his songwriting as a thing. I just thought he's just cool. He's in Libertines. His songs are great. They just landed lucky, and like to see his, but
Mm-hmm.
they're not. To see his form and the way he does it, it was shocking, because we've had like Rev and the Makers, we've had Blaine from Mystery Jets, all them out, and I've never, I kind of, they were doing their own thing, but me and Carol were kind of tackling a couple of different writers, the people that were writing, we would write with them, like me and him together, and it was good to see the way he works.
Mm-hmm.
He's very deep, like, whereas John McClure, like Rev, he was like, just let's fucking have it, and just like singing, and like, just like, yeah, just get out your zone, come on, get out your comfort zone. Whereas Carl was like, he was writing this song with a good pal of mine called Dove, who had been
He's
writing a lot with
brilliant,
as
by the
well.
way. I've had him on
Yeah,
my
he's
podcast as well.
like,
Last
yeah,
guy.
he's one of the best guys in the world. I love him, man. But I came in the room and they were writing something, and they were writing about this biblical song, and I was like, Carol was like carrying a bit of Bible in that, and like saying he's not religious, but he says I read this for inspiration. And I was like, that's so deep. And then him and Dov was like trying to talk about something about like about the about like the depths of and your soul of being gay, but like how to explain it, and how but using the Bible as a force. And they were like, I was just watching them work, and I was like, this is mind blowing. It's like, this is what I want, you know what I mean? Rather than people just going, come now, let's go and write a banger. It was like, no, Carol's like, no, we need to really dissect this and go through it. What do you really want to say? And it was like, whereas you wouldn't get that if you were writing with just some random guy, but it's because they connected with each other. You know what I mean? It's like
Mm-hmm.
they were like, "What? No, I really want to do this right. I want to do it properly because you've got a lot to say. Your voice is powerful. I think you should go through this and like make it." And it's just sometimes you're blown away by and awe of people, and especially because me and Carol would back in the day, were always just when I saw him, would just be playing shows, or I used to do the charity thing with him, and would just be smashed together. And he was sober, and I was semi sober, like at
Mm-hmm.
the camp. So to do it and not be partying and just see the way each other work, it was cool, and I was getting appreciation for him. And he was like, "Oh, I never knew you were in that deep either." I was like, "Oh, cool, we're both deep. That's cool."
I
So,
watched the video. You put up a video, like an interview. You and him and who else is there? Michael
oh,
Ward. Was it?
Grant and
Watched
Wardy,
that.
yeah.
Aye, that was a class V interview as well.
Yeah, I've not watched it, but yeah, that was cool, man. Me and I think so. We're going to be doing that with everyone. I mean, next year we've got.
I
Well,
see
this year I keep
you
forgetting
get
it's just
Jamie Webster and Justin Hawkins, aren't you, coming up?
yeah, and we've got the boy
James
for soft
Allen.
play. Laurie, we've got Laurie Wright for soft play. We've got like mega ones away announced, but we just can't say them yet because it's not in the contract. But it's so good, man. I mean, I mean, even like Jamie Webster, like just he's a man of the people. Know what I mean? It's like even him, his response to it, he wasn't. It's a lot of people you get in touch with because our songwriting camp isn't the same as everyone else's. It's not like I used to go to this place in Karma in Thailand, which was like a big studio, and I've worked there loads. I've been about 8 times and recorded loads of records there, and just like in and out. And I kind of do a lot of writing there as well, and I do some covers. But anyway, every time I'm there, there's always like a big squad of people outside, and I'm always like, "What's going on there?" And I was like, "Guys, what are you doing? What are you here for? I'm meant to be recording. You using the studio as well?" And they're like, "Oh, we're at a songwriting camp," and it's like they're all like pure kumbaya outside, and like I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh, but it's a universal songwriting camp," and I'm like, "What are you? Oh, cool." And I was like, "Fuck," and I was like, "I'm gonna phone Wardy and like fucking." Get a main songwriting camp. I was like, Wardy, and he's not only daft enough to like agree with it. And he was like, mate, he says, I'll come meet you in 2 minutes. So come down and go, right, how much do we need? What are we doing? When are we going? So me and him literally got on a plane the next week, got smashed for a few days, missed our viewings, and then went to like 3 viewings, and like we thought, this is a crazy idea. And the last place we saw was pure dynamite. And it was like that, and I says like, "This is it." So we just took it, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Then we really forked out to get it. Like we had to put beg, steal, and borrow, and even me, my missus, and his missus, and us. We had 5 kids with two me like under the age of 4 or something at the time, and they were like, we were like pie shoveling all these stones. Kind of was pure labour for 3 months. We were there, just pure sorting the place out. We had to, Chelsea's brother was coming painting all. We had to redo the whole place. It was chaos in it. That in my head, and then I was going, right, why don't I just book a camp in August? And he was like, "No, it's too soon." I went, "Fuck it, man, right, we're ADHD boys, let's do it." And he was like, "Right, fine." And then we put it on sale. It fucking sold out. And we're like, sound, and it's just getting bigger and better. And I think the difference is from what we're doing is so like we've been trying to get Kesha for ages, and she was like kind of going to come over, know the big pop star,
Yeah.
but she was like needed this X amount of money, and we were like, "Fuck, that's a lot of money." But then she was like, "And it has to be only published artists that are coming over." So you're like, that's going to alienate a lot of people. But then you speak to folk, and they're like. The people that we are getting over, some people have never written a song in their life, but they've got this book of poetry that's fucking profound, and it's like outstanding. You're like, wow, that's like outstanding. And then you've got people that play guitar that are too shy to write lyrics, and then they're forming
Mm-hmm.
with each other and they're all becoming pals. But then Keshav and people like that, they're saying we can't come over. So it's people that we've got like Carol, even Justin Hawkins and that. He's like my absolute hero. When I was a kid, when I was like 15, I was the darkness of my favourite band. Got my nose broke twice at 2 of their concerts. The only ones I went to see. Got my nose broke twice for the bouncers. But like getting him on the campus, a massive deal. Like even to this day, like I still love the darkness. I love like sort of 70s rock anyway, and like that for them to recreate that's brilliant. I just think they're class. But like
Well, that's a
as
good thing as well. Even like the people that you say that are coming on to the course. I mean, I know a lot of them. Obviously, you mentioned Dove. Kieran Fisher was there not that long ago.
yeah, it was we wrote an absolute banger together. One of the best songs ever. And I was like, can I get that song? And he was like, "No, I'm using it." But then he sent me his album the other day because Kieran used to be mad with it, same as me,
Yeah.
like mad. We used to get right on it, and then to see him like completely sober as an eye opener, it's like he's a different person. And he's really good at it. He's good at it. And we've had mega deep chats, and again, he's been out when we've had big parties and that. And he still just keeps clean, and it's like it's really cool because he was struggling for a bit. You know what I mean? I was like, what? And he kept coming out with these phrases because obviously he's got like a sponsor, and kind of he goes to A and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept coming out, and I was like, "Everything you're saying is a song." Everything. He was like, "Ah, she's got a head full of broken bottles, man." And I was like, "Mate, that's a fucking tune." And we wrote this tune called, I said, "If your head is full of broken bottles," and I was like, "Turn around and blame it all on me." And I was like, "Wow, this is like," it was like Robbie Williams, like sort of like sort
The
of like
new
come undone
album's
or
coming out
something.
soon, isn't it? I think the album's out next month.
Yeah, well, I was saying to him, I was like, "Where's the tune we done?" And he went, "Oh, you told me not to record it because it was shite." He says, "Because the version I done was shite." And I says, "No," I says, "I'll record it with you, but you still needs to be on the album." He says, "Oh, no, I want to make it right." So, but I was like, I'm not sure if I'm just kind of postponing it so that I could use the song myself. It's like Rod Stewart, or it's like an old like classic. It's like a '60s classic. But honestly, I was like, "Fuck, this is a heavy duty good song." Like, I was
So,
like, "Wow."
so see when you kind of when you look at all these kind of artists, so like obviously Kieran Fisher, Ben Walker's been there, Dov's been there, Shambolics have been there. So
Yeah.
in some aspects, do you kind of feel like the elder statesman of the Scottish music scene now? Like you're kind of
Sure.
passing on your
Um,
wisdom.
I mean, I've no, I suppose I should feel like that because it's pretty much what I'm doing, but I don't. I mean, I've been doing interviews all day, and I've been talking about. It's been mainly songwriting interviews and stuff, and I've been talking about it. But it's more like it's more getting to know people. It's more like a sort of. I know it sounds like that's why I was saying that. Like these other camps that are all universal, just paying for everyone to go and write a hit. It's not like that. We're developing artists. You know what I
You're
mean? It's not
building a
like
community,
yeah, and it's
kind
like
of
the people
connecting
are
these
coming
artists
over.
to.
Yeah, and it's like people that don't even know they could write are writing because anybody could write. That's the matter of fact. It's like it's just putting you with the right people and making sure it happens. And everyone's got a story to tell, so it's like it's just how you tell it and the formation that you're going to give it to the world. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I think but as I say, like it's more like so Wardy that I run it with. He's more like the sort of guy that he gets up and he takes everyone for a run and he's like, right, everyone, right, we're going to be doing Max Martin writing today. And he's more like he never even knew what songwriting was before. Like we're massive fans of music, but he's a promoter and all that. But he's kind of took more of the lead of arranging it all and making sure that people are with the right people and all that. And I just kind of just go about just writing and being a vibe man. It's class. It's a great job. But sometimes there is.
when did you meet Wardy? Is that round about 2016? Round about like the kind of
Yeah, well,
hiatus?
I've known him for years. I've known Wardy before that. Like, I think we started working heavily together in about 2015. I mean, I got
Yeah.
in all that trouble on the
I
plane and that, and I
I
was
can
like,
mind they put on a gig. You played Motherwell. You played Electric Bar. You done one of the wee solo ones, and it was the day of the Scottish Cup final when Hibs beat
oh, I
Rangers
remember there was
2.
chairs on the stage and that. It was
Ah,
fucking
that was
mental.
brilliant. That was a brilliant gig with the Banter Thieves. They played it as well.
Oh, yeah, we had a mad one after that. Like, it was
Yeah.
mental. Right, insane. But no, I think like, but so yeah, so it's so funny because Wardy's pretty much good at like everything he puts his hand to. So us doing this over here, he's moving. I've been here for 6 months, but he's coming over in like a month. He just got a house. So we're like full on going for it, you know what I mean? Because we can't really put our heads in it unless we're here. Because it's like last year I had loads of camps and I was only going in for 2 days, writing like doing 6 hour sessions a day, six like and then just leaving. My head was burst. I was like, and I want to like spread it over some time. So the plan is to like not have to tour my arse off anymore because it's like I've got a new record coming out. I have to tour it up, but I'm just doing like these small shows. But
Hmm.
then I'm like, but then this new album's too good not to release. So I'm like, I'm waiting. It's going to be coming out in August, hopefully. But it's like dynamite. I'm working with a guy, Andy Gannon, who produced and wrote all the with the Cortinas, the last album that just came out.
Right. So what's
So I've
this
been
another
working.
solo album then in August?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
it's kicking. It's nearly finished. I'm finishing off on the 17th, but it's like some of the best stuff I've done. Do you know what's good about it is because I'm working with somebody else, Andy Gannon. He's like he's different for the way I work. It's no that it's like he's more sort of down with the kids and understands the music, even though we're similar ages, but he's a
Hmm.
producer, so he knows more of it. So I've kind of let him take the role of the sounds in that, where rather than me just going, nah, it needs a middle eight and that, it's just like we've been working in sort of experimental ways, like where he'll be in the studio and I'll be like, right, I'll just give him a BPM, like, and a speed, and then he'll go in and then I'll come back and he's finished the track and I'll just write a song over it, and then it'll be like another way where I'll write a song and he'll just build that over it, and or we'll, no, but it's very it's because when he came to the studio, we were only coming over because we've been talking online for years and we'd never really met in person. And I was like, "Oh, I've just finished this view tour. It was pretty heavy, and I'm not really. Do you still need to come over?" And he was like, "I'm definitely coming over. I booked my flights and that." And I was like, "Right, well, I probably want to be that. I'm going to try my best, but I'm not. I'm just kind of done in." Then he came over and straight away was sparked, and it was like bang. We nearly finished an album. We've done like 12 songs like in 3 days. Pure out like, but some of the best work I've done. And so
And
he's
he's
coming back
probably,
over. We're going to
if
finish it.
he works differently as well, he'll be getting something different out of you that you've no, maybe a different side that you've
Yeah,
never
well,
thought about.
I think I'm always trying to push everything I've got to the complete extreme and the complete level, and like I think hearing the sort of, it's very relaxed and sort of. It's just like I'm like, oh fuck, I could just write bangers over these, man. It's just like it's different. Rather than me going, oh, am I thinking too deep? It's a lot of spitting. So it's just like I'll just
Mm-hmm.
be on the mic and just going right and saying whatever, and then you finish the tune in the space of like while it's been on, and you're like, fuck, that's good, man. You're like, you just fix up a couple of wee lines and it's done, and it's like, fuck, that's how easy it is. But that doesn't happen with everyone. We just kind of connected a bit, and it's just we're both saying we're good, but we're good together, like we're a team. So let's get this album finished.
I'm looking
Um,
forward to that. And
yeah,
obviously, like, touching on the songwriting process a wee bit. Obviously, I've seen you've been putting up wee videos on Instagram the last few days, kind of talking about the songs. And you mentioned Grace, and you were talking about
yeah,
the chorus. The chorus used to have a different bit, so the different bit ended up on the AB We Need Treatment. So
yeah.
see things like that. Then, have you got wee bits of songs just kicking about that you might use 5, 6 years down the line?
Yeah, pretty much all the time. But I was kind of saying this earlier on, like, the more you write, the other ones get left behind. But like, it's like I always, sorry, I'm just like, hola, señorita.
So I we were talking about kind of the Grace and kind of the chorus then being reused later on. So
Mhm.
how often does that happen? Have you, like, as I say, have you got stuff just kicking about that you reuse or use for
Do you know
something?
what? Do you know what? It used to not happen as much, but now it's like because I've got loads of voice notes of like, so I'll write something and it'll be like, oh, this is going to be the chorus, but I'll end up like then I won't use it, and then when I'm sitting there, we'll write something like on the spot, and I was sort of coming up with something. I'll be like, wait, I'll go and check through my voice notes and I'll see what I've got. But like back in the day, I never had a. Well, I did used to have a dictaphone, but I just it was really just for effect. I never actually used it. But I mean, it does happen. It's more like, do you know what I find myself doing recently? Because I'm like writing that much is that I start copying. I mean, there's this other day I started writing this tune. It was called the Dark Piano because I was feeling really sad and theatrical, and I was like, sitting at the dark piano. Gracias, amigo. And and I started like doing this thing, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, am I copying another melody? And I was like, I'm not yet, but I could feel it coming. It's like, and then I ended up like I was writing with this Irish dude that's the big rock star in America, Markman. But it was really weird. Sorry, I keep going on tangents, but it was really weird because when I was writing with him, he was like this big rock star guy, but he was wanting to write. He was basically wanting to write a song with meaning and sort of mellow, so that he could then rock it up. But he ended up recording it and sent it back to me. I was like, "Holy shit, man! This is a pure beautiful like." And all his other stuff's like grungy or like that kind of stuff. And he sent me it back, and I was like, "Holy shit, man! This is beautiful." But but then I was doing this like yesterday. I was writing. I felt like I was like, "Wait a minute! Sounds just like that guy's song." And other times, even like I was writing, I wrote a tune with Ben Walker. It was about one of his ex-girlfriends. It was like down, and then just riff, and it was like down, 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 down. And then I recorded it with Apprentice from Vistas. He's been over here a few times and that. And then I was like, got this riff, and Apprentice is going, but it's definitely from someone. It turns out that then Billy Mitchell, my good pal,
Uh
sent me a song, and it was a song that they wrote in the camp like 3 years ago. And I was like, I had the same riff. I was like down, 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 and then I was like, holy shit balls. But Billy's done that to me a few times. He's texted me going, here, am I being mental, or is this your tune? Because I just wrote a tune, but it sounds like your song, and I'm like, that's exactly the same as my song. And he's like, oh shit, I'll need to go back to square one. But it's like I do that as well. I'll be like, Is that tune? Is that your song? It's like it's funny.
Billy's a class boy as well. I've
Like,
tried to get him on the podcast as well. I like the way his music sounds. It's kind of, there's something different about it. A couple of other songs in the album, obviously Dixie. Was that co-written with Rianne Downey, or was it just
no.
written
So
with
so
Rianne in mind?
I wrote the song and then phoned her and I played it on the piano to her. She was like, "Oh, I fucking love it." And then but in my head, I just want to give her it. But then, so we went to my pal Risey's house and we recorded. We're on a Christmas song as well.
Yeah.
But Rianne was quite introverted. I didn't know her. I just spoke to her online. So she come all the way up to Aberdeen. And I think she was a bit like me and Risey were in a couple of beers. And I think she was just a bit like, I don't know what I'm doing here. And I was like, well, it's fine, just chill. Like, and I think she wanted to write on the song, and I was like, well, it's finished, sort of thing. And she was like, no, well, I've got this. Then she wrote him, and she wrote one of the verses. And it was amazing, but it was like class because again, I'd never. This is before the camps and that. I'd never really written with loads of other folk, so it was a bit. I was just thinking this will be a good song for you, but she completely like made it her own. And I used to listen every day. I was thinking this is going to be my fucking. This is going to be my big breadwinner, man. This is going to make loads of cash. She's going to be huge. It's pure amazing because she's demoed it. And then she was working with James Skelly, I think, and he, but to which and I know a bit, but she from the choral, and he was like, I was like, oh, did you show James the song? And she's like, yeah, he does, but he thinks it's not for me. And I was like, oh, I was so offended. I was like, oh fuck,
Oh,
I'm going to use it. But I used it, and then I think Leon messaged me going, oh, that's class. But she's great to work with, man. She's just like it's just writes lyrics and like seconds. You know what I mean? She's got like she's really
yeah.
like it's got an ear for it, man. She just knows the score, man.
Again,
She
I'm,
knows the
I'm
score.
waiting to get her on the podcast. I'm speaking to another lassie, Brooke Combe. I'm speaking to her.
Yeah, she was just on the radio over here, actually. I just heard her. We've got a song called This Town. It's like record of the week on
Yeah,
one of the
man,
smart radios.
her album's really good, man. So, she's worked with James Skelly as well. Thank
Yeah,
James
I think
Skelly
he
for
done that This
that
Town
album.
song. Yeah. Is that, how did her album do? Did it really well?
It's out. It's out a week on Friday.
Oh, is it?
I've been listening
Hopefully
to it.
she does well, man. I've met her once.
So what is it with Liverpool? A lot of people like you went down to Liverpool to record an album, didn't you? So what is it about down there? And is it there's so many? There seems to be so many producers there.
Well, James Kelly does a lot of the stuff.
You get
Like,
Dave Skelly, you get Ian Brody down there as well,
yeah.
and you get
I
all
mean,
that kind of you get all that band. Like kind of it looks to me like see like Rianne and Brooke and even Jamie Webster, they seem to all kind of share the same backing band and they just kind of go to singer to singer.
yeah. It's like Hit Machine, is it? It's like,
Yeah, I think they
they're
call it
all,
the Scouse Wrecking Crew. I think they call them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Brilliant. Nah, they're all class. I think it's if you're good, you know where to go. Like, we went there because Liverpool, because we had to like, I wanted to get away. It was after my mum had died, but I think I was like, let's just move to Liverpool to the band, and we wanted to be like sort of like the monkeys living in a house
hmm
together. But it was not like that. We'd never really done much writing. I remember because Mike Crossy, who was producing us at the time, we came in, so we agreed the album, we all like had an agreement, and he was like, we came in, played him one song, he went, get out of my studio. It's like nobody's ever spoke to us like that. He was like, get out of my studio, you're not recording here, you can't even play the songs yet. And you were like, well, let me play again. And he's like, you've got a fucking bottle of rum in your hand. The drummer's on drugs. Says, you're all fucking look like idiots. Says, get out of my studio. Says, go and rehearse for 2 weeks and I'll see you then. And I was like, fuck you, I'm not working with that arsehole. And then came back and then played him exactly the same. And he was like, yeah, okay, you're fine now, you can come and play. But I mean, he was cool, but a bit strange. It was a bit strange. We had like a Woodward drum tech on standby at that time, just in case. Well, we're all pretty wavy at the time, but
hmm
it was. But yeah, we're kind of writing songs on the spot. Then I wrote a lot of them songs just on the spot, like uh, I can't remember what's on the album, but how long and that was. I
It's a
remember
good
I had
album
to.
though.
Yeah, no, I love that record. Yeah, but it's like I remember when we were. So how long? One of the songs is Katie and Debbie.
hmm
We were up one night. They were up one night. I got a phone call. We're in London, and I was no, I was staying with them at the time, and I came back for about it was about 5 in the morning, and they were going, "How long has it been since you fell in love?" And I was going, "That's a tune." So I got my uke and started playing it, and I used the song, and then there was a big hoo ha because Katie and Debbie basically wrote the chorus. And I was like, they have to be 50%. And then, but there was a management was going, but Kieran's got your name, always got his name on it. I went, no, but that's Katie and Debbie who wrote that bit, so it should be them co-writing it.
hmm
And then there was a bit of a thing, and then he went, okay, I'll put it through, and he never. So then Katie and Debbie phoned me, where's my fucking thing on that? And I was like, honestly, I swear to God, I put your name for it. And then they're like, using our song. And
Well,
so it was a big deal about that.
actually speaking about that, then so like Jennifer Bard, Katie sang on the original, didn't she?
Yeah.
So who's on like the new version? Who's doing the vocals there?
It's my pal Neve Zara, the country artist.
Right.
So I've got Drew and Neve pretty much playing and singing on everything.
See Drew as
Because
well.
originally,
See Drew. He was on my podcast as well.
what was it? Yeah.
He was. It never made the cut. I had his pal Ryan Jarvis
Oh
on
yeah.
the podcast, and it was during lockdown or something, and it was the first time they two had been together for like a couple of years, and they had a drink. They were doing like a Facebook Live, and I was watching them, and then they were coming on the podcast, and I was watching them. And they were just back and forth to the fridge, getting more drink, and I thought this isn't going to go well. And they they came on the podcast, and they both had like a bottle of rum each, and they're just drinking it straight. It was the worst podcast ever. I had to scrub it and do it the next day just with Ryan himself. But so I know Drew. I think during that podcast he was trying to phone you actually.
Was yeah.
Aye,
Yeah.
but he's quite a talented boy as well.
Yeah,
So,
he's great,
so
man.
they both feature on the album then.
Yeah, so Chris, the guy Chris Evans engineered it, who's like one of my vocal producers from the studio, and I produced it. Just Drew pretty much played a lot of the guitar, some of the bass, but it's funny because I had to go and redo, like, even when Drew was playing it, I was like, because they're still like old View songs, so I was like Five Rebecca's in that, but Drew was sort of making it a bit, putting too much of his spin on it. So I was like, right, geez, you're not getting to play this, I'm going to play it. But then it was kind of cool doing Pete's part because I was like, well, and I sort of changed the solo a wee bit, but I was like, it's really hard because I don't want to piss on Pete's chips, you know what I mean? So I was like, I've got to get this right, man. But I was like, we're trying to make it acoustic, so eventually we had to get we eventually had to just use electric, but we were just using like cajon for the drums in that.
One of the other songs I wanted to ask about was Lucy. Obviously, reworked a wee bit, and you get a rapper on it, Pros, Mike Murray is his name.
Yeah.
So how did that come about? How do you know him?
Mike is my pal through Drew, Drew Palmer, and he basically I went to a few shows and Drew plays for him. And Drew's always talking about him, saying he loved this guy, and we met and we were like, we're basically the same person. We're me and Mike are like just fucking both pretty out there and wacky ADHD, like just he's the same. He's just funny. He gets my banter, and so he came over and we were actually working on his rap record together. It's me, my pal Phil, Chris, Drew. There's like 5 of us, and we're going to like release it under another name.
Right.
But that's what we came over to do, and we were doing all the stuff. And I was like, oh, because he's got a sort of sadness about his voice. Have you actually heard it yet?
I've heard the version. I've been listening. I've been listening to the album for last week. It's, as I say, I've been trying to get you on the podcast for 4 years, right? And for whatever reason, it gets knocked back, or I couldn't get in contact with you. And I done Pastel in bulk last week. So I've been listening to the albums on the app that Katie sends me the albums. And I went out to work Tuesday night, I think it was, and I went to put that app on to listen to Pastel, and your album came up. And I thought, right, that's new. I thought, I'm going to check if Katie sent me an email. And there was an email, and I was like, right, I said, I've been hassling you for years. I need this interview. And like literally, she mailed me the next day and said, right, here's a date for it. So I've been trying to get you for 4 years. The first podcast I started was The View. It was called Typical Time Podcast. And I was going to have every day for The View. I was going to have producers and all that. And I ended up, I've done 8 episodes. I never get any of the band. And then I started this new podcast.
Who did you get on it then?
Who did I get? So I had Ryan Jarvis because he was a fan. I had a couple of fans. I had Bazza Mills, the photographer. I had Bazza and Kieran on together. I had Brown Bear. I had who was the other one?
What, talking about The View?
I just any kind of connections with The View basically, but I never got any. And then started this new podcast, and I thought I'll just broaden it out, and I can interview whoever I like. And I've had Kieran, Pete, and now I've had yourself. So it's been an absolute pleasure.
Man, that's good, man. To be honest, I mean, reading this today, my head's a bit burst. I'm quite enjoying, like, I'm getting the sort of album buzz. It's a bit weird because we've done it all ourselves. There's no been, well, I've got Wardy's basically managed this whole project. And it's good for us because we're trying to get an outfit where we're like, okay, we've got it now. We know how to do it. We've got loads of art. I mean, Dov, we'd really love to put an album out with him. Because, like, nowadays, people are just, like, fucking chatting about, kind of, you're like, oh, I'd just get money to do an album. They're like, oh, people didn't put albums out anymore. We've got to do like 5 singles, 10 singles, and then maybe an album once Universal get involved. It's like, mate, let's make a fucking collective bunch of tunes and put it out there, and you'll get the appreciation. If someone's that good, it delivers. You know what I mean? It's like, but there's so much. Everyone is like, even we Ben Walker. I've been trying to get him to do an album for ages, and he's like, no, but he knows more than me. You know what I mean? He's like a genius kid with the way the internet works and that. And he's like, no, that's not how you do it. But I've been like, just do an album. He's like, no, it's a waste. What's the point in putting an album out? But I don't see that way. And this is hence why I'm releasing an album and a way to do another one in the same year. It's like, it's the way I want to do it. And it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like, people are terrified of getting knocked back. It's like, fucking just go for it, man.
Just ask though, didn't you? I've just started. Well, last year I started managing a band. So they've released 2 songs. I'll send you them. I'll email them to you.
What are they called?
The High Flats. And I'm hassling the songwriter. I think he should come out and do one of your camps. But I'll send you some. I'll send you their songs and all that later on.
What you should do is you should send them as a band, and we'll give you a good price. But then they could have like a yurt on their own. And it's not going to be through the roof. It's not like a mental price. Send them as a band so that none of them feel left out, and then they could all write together. I think if there's a songwriter and they're working together, that's what worked. We had a few bands out on the last one, and there were people that didn't actually write in the band, and they came over and all like started writing with other people and then learning how to do it, and it was class. But you know what I mean? It's probably better, like, just that, especially at an early stage of a band. You don't want to be like, oh, the writer's going out to Spain. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, well, you need to like keep them all together. And it's probably cheaper for them to come all out together. It's like, what do you strikes class deals? It'll be like, it's a good idea, man, for everyone to come.
I'll send you that stuff anyway later on. You can have a listen, see what you think. It's just trying to get money together to record. It's hard, isn't it, man? So
I know, man. Tell us about it, man.
But
the thing is, if you do find it, it's good because you don't need to. If you could just cut, because every single person you speak to, either a publisher or a label, they've got to see the numbers and the crunch numbers. And it's just a kick in the stones every time. Even nowadays, like an established artist, I'm like, to get a publishing deal, to get off a publishing deal, to do whatever. It's just like, what's your numbers? Like, what's your Spotify? What's your thing? It's like.
See, like all the social media stuff, man, it's a fucking pain in the arse, man.
Yeah, it's mental, man.
So, I'll just kind of wrap up now. One thing I wanted to talk to before I spoke about heroes, you played the Celtic Player of the Year awards, and I've seen you playing football at Celtic Park as well. So when you played at Celtic Park, you would have shared a dressing room with Rowan McDonagh, Henrik Larsson, and that. What was that like as an experience, and what was it like playing at the Player of the Year awards as well?
Well, so I'm not really a football fan, right? But the view kind of have been. My dad likes Celtic, and I'm fair Celtic area where I live. Like
your cousin played for Celtic, didn't he, Lewis Toshney?
Yeah, Lewis Toshney,
yeah.
But yeah, I do. I naturally just like Celtic because I'm Irish and all this shit. But I've always kind of liked Celtic. I've always loved Henrik Larsson as a kid, even though I wasn't a massive football fan. I just loved him. I loved his dreadlocks, and I just loved everything about him. He's just cool. He's a great player. He was a great person. He was like a hero of mine even when I was into musicals and shit. I was like, I had a picture poster of Henrik Larsson. I thought he was so cool. But so I've always had a love for Celtic, but I don't. It's no like what people think. Everyone thinks that. See, when I'm in a pub and that, you got all these Ger fans coming up and they're like, "Oh, you're fucking dirty Tim," and I'm like, "I don't care, man. It's like I just do charity again now and again, and fucking just pure. There's no issue." But anyway, when I went to that thing, I remember my manager coming in the next day, and Pete was so excited about it because he's the biggest Celtic fan on the planet, and he's like Celtic daft. And I remember there was no bevy left in this, and I remember drinking mouthwash because it was like mouthwash trying to get pissed up. And I was sleeping there, and I heard my manager just went, "Kyle, you in here? I've been phoning you for hours." So I hid under my bed, and I was like freaking him. You've got the fear. I was like, spewing under my bed. And he's going, he says, "Kyle, I know you're under bed, man." He says, "You can't get out of this. If you don't do this," he says, "they're only wanting you and Pete if you come. Pete's not going to like to go on his own. You have to come." And he's like, "Pete's going to be really disappointed in you." And I was like, "Go away." He's like, "Well, everyone's waiting for you. Gerard Butler's going to be sitting next to you on the bus, and that's going to be cool." And I was like, "Right, fine then." Just wait till I drink my mouthwash. And there's like down the bottle mouthwash. So he said there's no alcohol. It was like the shops are shut. They didn't open to 10. And I was bad back then. So I was like,
I thought you gave a
so,
good account of yourself. I could mind you had a
no, I
wee
did. I
run
played
down the
well,
ground.
but the whole time Martin O'Neill was going, "Oh, we got the little man up. He's gonna play, but he's really hungover," and everyone was laughing. He's making me the brunt of the joke in the whole dressing room, and everyone's laughing. He's going, "I've got this little man. Has anybody got cocaine for the man? Has anybody got a little bit of cocaine or Jack Daniels or something? What do you rock stars drink?" And I was like, "They just leave us alone, man." And I was like, and then like, kind of just that was class. But then I saw my name on the top, Falconer, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool, man." And I was there with Gordon Strachan and that, and he was like, "Oh, fucking again." They're all mad fans at the time. It was like Gordon Strachan, Neil Lennon, Martin O'Neill. Kind of like, "How the fuck did you come up with that banger, Grace? That's amazing." It's like, and then we ended up like that night standing on the bar with Neil Lennon, fucking punching light bulbs at. He's going, "I saw our boy," going mental. I was like, "Yes, it's class." But I think was Richard Ashcroft. We were playing Man United. I think we were the One Direction guys as well, and Richard Ashcroft
Yeah,
were all sitting at the table. I ended up doing some sniffing. And I was like, "Oh, this is not bad. It's a good night."
that.
But then everyone, I always live in the fear that everyone's like, "So what do you think about the score in the league and that?" And I'm like, "Oh, don't ask me. I don't have a clue." So whenever we're on soccer AMs and all that shit, I'm always like, "Do not ask me them questions. I don't have a clue." And I'm only doing
Yeah,
it
yeah, that's what
because
it's for.
yeah.
That's,
But and I mean, playing that Legends thing was class as well. I mean, it's so funny because I went up to after it, we were like trying to leave, and everyone was saying nobody was bothered about me. It was just that I was sitting with Larson and that, and we're all like, there was a few folk where like to me, like when I did like football, like Larson, Chris Sutton, Craig Burley, and like they had these like legends, Tom Boyd.
mm-hmm.
And then like I'm like sort of pro it says Larson, maybe I get a wee picture and Tom Boy's going, "Do you know fucking know who that is, Big Larson?" Going, "That's fucking my boy Faulkner." I went, "Remember I done a 1-2 with you back in the day and like you scored. That was me when sorry, I don't know who you are. Could we just do the picture?" And I'm like, "Oh, you've went doing it, mate. You went doing a fucking boat, mate." Says used to be really sound. I was just in a laugh and he was like, I sorry, I don't know you. So then after it, all the security were like walking around the hydro and they're like, "We're going to go to the after show." And they were taking my bit, and I was just millions of fans, just like we were in this circle full of security. It was just
Mm-hmm.
me, Larson, Sutton, Tom Boyd. Who else was there? I can't remember. Gordon Strachan was there. There's a few people, and we're just sort of having a laugh, and we're just like the security is like doing this sort of oval shape, just like protecting us. We walked, and we got in, and this wee boy outside is like, "Oh, could you go and get my sign, my top sign for Chris Sutton? He's the only one that's not done it." And I was like, "No bother, mate." And I was like, "Here, Sutton. Here, Sutton." He went, "Don't call me by my fucking name. Who do you think you are? What would I call you? What's your name? What's even your fucking name?" And Larson was going, I believe his name is Falconer, but Tom Boydie told me. I'm like, I mean, it's fucking Ken Falconer, mate. If you didn't want to sign it, it's cool, you know. So, and he was like, "No, give it. Oh, fucking, give it. Don't call me something again, you little prick." And I was like, "Mate, I'm fucking about the same age as you cunt." You know what I mean? But like, it was like he was stressed, but I was like, "Can I have it?" But then it was a bit like because Boydie's like he's a fan. He's like, "Oh, but I'm upset that he spoke to you like that," and he's like, "He doesn't know who you are." And I was like, "It doesn't matter who I am. You don't speak to people like that." You know what I mean? Like it's like you fucking arsehole. But I used to love Chris Sutton, but not anymore.
The last bit of the podcast.
You maybe better not put that in because I'll get in trouble for the Celtic squad.
Well, I can take that out as well. Or we can just double down and fuck Chris Sutton. Um, the last bit of the podcast called Time for Heroes. I asked my guest to pick 4 heroes to come for dinner. Why they're your heroes and what would you cook for them? They can be any walk of life. It can be dead or alive. They can be musicians or whatever else you want to be. But 4
Okay.
heroes.
Right. One would be Shania Twain.
Right. That here, by the way, see that cover? Black and blue eyes.
Yeah.
Absolute class.
Oh, Dynamite Man. Cheers. Shania Twain, Michael Jackson, John Lennon, and Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney, I couldn't have picked no two Beatles.
Well,
I
that's
met
what I was
everyone else.
worried about. See, when you picked John Lennon, because I just assumed you would go McCartney, and I thought he's going to leave McCartney out.
Nah, I need to be but I'm McCartney daft, but it's just like Shania Twain is like my pivotal. I mean, like, when I was like 12, 13, I always had fancied it, like, which every guy did, but it's like hard music. That album coming over was like changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
Still one of my favorite albums ever. It's like the only album that I could put on when I go for a run, and I didn't get bored of it. I just think the production, Mutt Lange's production, everything outstanding. I just loved just everything about these songs. Like, are just outstanding. Just my favorite thing in the world. Um, and McCartney and Lennon, obviously, because of the Beatles, but it would just be good to kind of hang with them and see what they're like. And I always thought it would be good if I could, if I was, is just kind of imagine in my head if I was able to go back in time, I'd try and join the Beatles
Yeah.
like before George got there. But then obviously I'd want him to be the bad. Probably just be a five piece if I got there. But I'd just love to just infiltrate and it's like like yesterday before McCartney done it, and I'd go, "Oh, I got this tune yesterday." Right, I've already heard it, but it's like, do you know what I mean? That's one of my things. So it'd be good to sit with them too. And Michael Jackson, just because I would say, "What's going on? You actually a pedo, or is it just everybody's making it up?" Then I'd also say, "I love your music." Like, I mean, it's a bit of a weird one, Michael Jackson, because you're not allowed to mention him, but it's still
Yeah.
his songs are fucking outstanding. You know what I mean? It's like
It was
outstanding.
groundbreaking. When you look at kind of even like the early stuff, like when he was still in the Jackson Five, like kind of see when he was doing like the lead vocals on that, even that, and then
I
to
know.
what he kind of grew into as well. He was a proper pop star, wasn't he? There's
Yeah, man,
like
it's
him.
outstanding. Outstanding. I like what Bad's one of my favorite albums in the world, and like I just love how atmospheric it is, and I kind of incorporate that a lot in my songs. It's funny whenever I send songs to Charlie Russell, the guy that engineers all my shit. He's always like, "Oh fucking hell, here's Michael Jackson influences coming in again." He's like, "The fucking end of like Poor Me is like fucking Dirty Diana, man. It's fucking exactly the same." I'm like, "Yeah, but just didn't mention it to people, man. It's fine." It's fucking yeah, like I love Michael Jackson, man. He's like, I think that's where me and the View kind of like drift off and like they're into this sort of more rock and roll, and I like songs that are like like I like the flutters and Michael's voice and like all the movements and all that, and it's like
Yeah, and I think
they're
that's where your voice comes in as well, because your voice is quite distinctive, and kind of you can tell it's you as soon as you hear you singing. So
yeah,
that it kind of stands out.
yeah,
What's coming up next? Then obviously you get this album coming out February 7th, a couple of weeks time, and then obviously you mentioned that another solo album hopefully in August. What is there any plans for anything with the View anytime soon, or is that kind of on hold? Because that last album was class.
I mean we've got back together and we've been touring our asses off, so I'm not actually sure what the plans are at the minute. We've got some stuff planned, but it's just I don't know. Um, it's quite intense, you know. I find it a lot easier just doing stuff when I'm on my own, but it's less stressful.
Hmm.
Feel like because everyone in the View all lives different places. Jay's always in LA, like Pete's in Dundee, but used to be in Liverpool, Kieran's in Glasgow, and Rennie's in London. It's like they're trying to like round up the fishes to try and like to
Yeah,
get with together. I'm in Spain, so it's. But yeah, I think we'll probably do another album. See how it goes. But I mean, it's like I'm at an age where I'm just like just happy with whatever. No, I mean, I need to start doing less because it's a lot. There's a lot of stress. It's doing too much. My kids and
yeah,
later have another kid, obviously. So I'm just like I need my time. That's why I wanted to move to Spain. So I love it, but I'm still doing the exact same as I did. The exact same as I did when I was living in the UK. You know what I mean? I'm still like running a
yeah.
bit like a maniac. I'm like, well, when's it going to stop?
Maybe you just need like after you get the other album out, and obviously you'll probably need to tour that, I would imagine, and then maybe just a break for a year.
Yeah, that's the plan, man. I think
Yeah,
26 is probably going to be a break. Just need to make sure I make enough cash, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's it, man. Everybody's after the same thing, aren't they? We're all chasing the money. But it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you today, man. You've gave me more time than I thought I would get with you. As
Yeah,
I
what is,
say,
man?
it's been a dream come true speaking to you. You couldn't believe how much this means to have you in the podcast.
Class, man.
But the album, as I say, the album sounds fab. The songs have all been reworked and it just gives a different kind of slant to them. So I can't wait for all my pals to hear it because I've been listening to it the last week or so. It'll get down a treat with all the View fans.
Next one, man. Legend,
Um,
man. I've enjoyed this, man. It's good.
Brilliant. It's been nice to kind of get back and kind of reminisce on things and all that. But an absolute pleasure having you on today. Thank you very much.
Legend, mate. Nice one, man.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Time for Heroes podcast. If you would like to get in touch, the best way is on the Facebook page, Time for Heroes podcast, or on Instagram at Time for Heroes podcast, or Twitter at Time for Heroes P1, or drop me an email at timeforheroespod at gmail.com. You'll find Time for Heroes on all podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple, Google, and Amazon. Please leave a review where you can, share with others, and more importantly, enjoy.